What are your thoughts on Marc Márquez after the last two races in particular, and what should his goal be for this race weekend?
Yeah, for the last few weekends, we've seen Marc being absolutely in the worst place in years, to be honest. I think it's even a worse place than the one he was in after the injury in 2020 when he was coming back, because he's here, in the race, and finally, healing this injury, getting ready to race. And then there is a Honda bike, he cannot do anything with it because every little move he makes is a big risk of a next crash. He crashed again this weekend, with the fact, consider also the fact that he has a problem with his finger, with his ankle, and he has a cracked rib, and he crashed again this morning. So this is a really terrible situation for him, as I think you all discussed probably last weekend, of course, during the Sachsenring race. How bad it looks for him, how bad it looks for Honda, because 3 of 4 their riders are injured. 2 of them are at home trying to get themselves healthy. Marc is here, but he's really struggling. He even said now that during this race, when he finished today, P17, he was really struggling with that rib. That was really hard to him as well, besides having not that good pace. So I think definitely his goals for this weekend will probably be really amazing, just to, get the pace and try to finish the race, because he haven't finished the race in a long time. And I'm not really sure what he can do with cracked rib, because this is something that definitely most people wouldn't be able to even sit upright, wouldn't be able to walk with. And he's racing a bike at 300 kilometers per hour. So definitely this is something that really holds him back. And also we have to discuss that Honda is doing terrible. We have Taka Nakagami, who is now the only Honda rider who's not injured. And as we've discussed with Josh, he's the only one now who's able to perform kind of well, but also I think he was outside of top 10 in today's sprint. No points for him. And he gets the points in the longer races normally, because then it's up to P15 that they are getting points. That's why he's not in the top 10. He's not in the upper part of top 10 fighting with Fabio, with KTMs. No, he's the only Honda getting points and performing, because he's around P12, P11, P13, and he's not risking as much as Marc is risking, because Marc has been risking his whole life. His style is just that way, and that's why he's crashing and Taka is not crashing. But yeah, definitely Honda is in terrible situation. Even Yamaha is in better one. If they don't do something, they will definitely lose Jean Mir, who I think won't be keen on staying at Repsol Honda. And they may lose Marc Márquez, who will be looking for a way out of the team. And also, as we discussed with Josh, that Marc's book came out a few weeks ago. This is a new one, 10, the story about his comeback and riding a MotoGP bike. And he literally said, I'm going to quote that again because I quoted in commentary, I can't imagine that an average skilled biker, even one with track experience, would enjoy my Honda. So this is not about enjoying. No one would enjoy that bike, especially no one would enjoy that bike now. Then it was a bike that could perform, even though there was no enjoyment, it could perform and get the wins. Now there is no enjoyment from riding that bike, being happy about being a motorcycle racer, but this bike cannot perform. It just gets Marc and other riders more injured.
You can imagine if it hurts driving a normal road car, moving it side to side as well is going to be absolutely paralytic for him. So yeah, I've cut him some slack this weekend, but as me and Julia pointed out, the crash that he had in, was it qualifying? Yeah, it's qualifying, wasn't it? In Q1. That wasn't his fault. It also wasn't Bastianini's fault. He was just looking away. They were both looking away. And I don't think the stewards gave him a penalty for it as well, but that can't have helped him. I'll be surprised if there isn't more injuries to come from that, because he can't just keep crashing. It is going to start hurting him more and more and more. So we'll have to keep an eye on that in the race tomorrow. But I'm certainly excited to see Julia in the commentary box tomorrow and notice down all the things she's going to have to say and correct me on as well, which she's done a couple of times very gently today. Feel a bit like Murray Walker when Martin came in as well, just sort of prodded me in the right direction of where to go in the commentary. It's quite fun.
Yeah.
Or sorry, go ahead, Julia.
Yeah, I want to one thing, because Josh mentioned, moving around on a bike with broken ribs or something. And when I was in Misano at World Superbikes 3 weeks ago, there was actually a bike simulator, VR, there. So it was a simulator of a road bike, so similar to what SBK, and you could drive for this, the screen, and there was a normal bike, so you could sit on it, you could lean down, and you could drive around Misano. Moving this bike from side to side is absolutely horrendous, because I did get on, I tried it, I couldn't even get it to the full lean, because I didn't have that much strength to do it, but I was trying to lean down. This is absolutely horrendous, and my legs were jelly for an hour after that, and this was just only one lap on that bike, just moving from side to side, braking, full gas, and just trying not to crash during that time. So definitely doing something like that with a cracked rib, problems with finger, and problems with ankle, like Mark and Fabio both now have, absolutely amazing.
Well, I'm sure it must be difficult for somebody like Marc Márquez to admit, of course, a multiple world champion, that just finishing a race this weekend is probably going to be a victory for everything that he's been through. But I think that's exactly where they are right now. So certainly wishing him the best, and but he's still dealing with the effects of injuries, multiple injuries of his own.